144 Saint. That ain't fire.
Oh, you got crazy.
Ay, man, these niggas out just shooting, ay. Man, these niggas out just dying, ay. Every motherfucking day, ay. Man, some shit I gotta say, ay. Man, it's been weighing on me to this fucking day. These niggas out just sliding around every fucking day, ay. Hitting kids and niggas, what you mean in broad day? Yeah, it's on my chest, man, some shit I gotta say, ay. I gotta say, man, y'all niggas detrimental. To the goddamn mission, man, y'all nigga be mental, hey. When this shit gon' stop, man, y'all got some issues. Be a goddamn man, I handle all your issues. You can be the stop, man, you can stop the violence. Cause I got them youth, man, yeah, they need some guidance. And it's worth a shot, man, it don't hurt to try it. Yeah, I'm selling advice, man, you should really buy it. Man, these niggas out here shooting, hey. Man, these niggas out here dying, hey. Every motherfucking day, hey. It's some shit I gotta say, hey. Turn up in this bitch, you don't need no click. Man, head to the bar, let's get a drink and shit. Yeah, we in the club, yeah, we seeing wild shit. I'm with my brothers, best believe, yeah, we in this bitch. Ain't no security, bitch. We security, bitch. I'm just saying black and brown niggas with that shit. So you can miss me with that motherfucking soul shit. I'm ISUPK, little nigga, yeah, we hardcore. Hey, man, these niggas out here shooting, hey. Man, these niggas out here dying, hey. Every motherfucking day, hey. Man, there's some shit I gotta say, hey. ISUPK shit, man, 1969, I'm the Commander General, Your Honor. Go.
All right, clap it up. All right, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, side of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, on the Commander Juliana. Today is ISUPK Austin's Monday Scripture Breakdown class, where we're going to be breaking down Scripture. Today's topic of the class is going to be, we're going to talk about the rich. Today is Labor Day for America, but as we all know, the real laborers are those who are Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. So we're going to be discussing how, what should your mindset be here in America, here in serving the Lord, and understand that this place is not the place for you, and your labor of America is not the labor that mattered to the Lord, right? Now let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 25, verse 2. One thing about the Bible is people want to make the Bible seem as it's pertaining to them, like the Bible's written to them. When I say that, I mean like, you go pray because you pray about that job you need in life. You know what I'm saying? You think that, NBA players, NFL players, the scriptures that say stuff, I'll give an example. Scripture be like, without works, faith is dead, something like that. You know what I'm saying? And they try to use that saying that you got to work hard in the NBA, to be good and stuff like that. A lot of people put this notion on the Bible that it's for everybody, like in the sense of your personal life, but it's not about that, right? And people also think that because of that, they think that making money is of God. They think that what the church teaches is a prosperity doctrine. You got that precept?
Yeah, I got it.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 25, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
3 sorts of men my soul hateth, and I am greatly offended at their life. A poor man that is proud, a rich man that is a liar, and an old adulterer that daunteth.
Right. So what? Poor, proud people, rich people, and adulterers. 3 men I hate. So much I'm greatly offended at their life. Now, what is it being proud? How are you proud? You know what I mean? Don't think about proud in a good way. You want to think about when you say proud, you want to resemble it with pride. Why you need proud and have pride? Think about it as in the homosexuals. Because you have pride because you have shame. That's why you need pride for. You prideful in what you do because you know what you do is against God. And it says a rich man that is a liar, and that's what we're going to be focused on, rich men. And all people want to be rich so bad. But he said a rich man that is a liar. Here we are in a kingdom, right? In America, in Babylon, in a nation that most people make their money illegally, right? Most billionaires and millionaires make their money in what? And not a legal way America set up their laws. Why? Because America is set up for the people who do illegally, who do contrary to what they say do, as how you make the money. And for that reason, we should not be envying these people. We should not be envying these people because they chose these black men who are the rappers and the celebrities and all these actors who decided to choose this place instead of the kingdom of heaven to come. We're not supposed to look at them. We're not supposed to look at that. Let me get Mark chapter 10, verse 18. What you gotta understand is this, man. It's real simple. You was made, if you black, Hispanic, Native American, to serve God. And with that come good promises. Going to come everlasting life, going to come the kingdom of heaven. Now, if you disobey God, you're going to get what you owe. You're going to get what you wanted. You're going to get what you worked for, right? You got that?
Mark 10 and 18.
Right.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 10, verse 18. And Yahushua said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God.
Now, this is what? This is Christ talking to the rich man, right? A rich man. Now, he's saying, why callest thou me good? There's none good but one, that is God. Even showing that what? That Christ understood the hierarchy, understood the order of things, and said there's only one good, and that is God. And we understand that what? Christ was a perfect man. And this is to let you know that what? That the Christian church does not have the spirit of Christ. Because the Christian church, they believe that they're the ones who are good. They believe there's two that is good. God in them. That's what Christian pastors believe in. Keep going.
Verse 19. Thou knowest the commandments. Do not commit adultery. Do not kill. Do not steal. Do not bear false witness. Defraud not. Honor thy father and mother.
Right. So he's listing down a couple commandments that you should keep to be what? To be perfect, to be good, to make it into the kingdom of heaven. Right? Keep going. Jump down to verse 21.
Verse 21. Then Yahushua, beholding him, loved him, and said unto him, One thing thou lackest, go thy way, sell whatsoever thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven. And come, take up the cross and follow me.
Right. What is your cross? Take up that cross. What is that cross? Burdens, right? Keep going. Verse 22.
So I can come. Verse 22. And he was sad at that saying, and went away grieved, for he had great possessions.
Right. So he was sad. He couldn't follow Christ. Why? Because he had great possessions. Because he was a rich man. And what's the problem with rich people? The problem is rich people that they don't care nothing about nobody but themselves and the things that they have. They can fight for something bigger than themselves. Rich people, if it's not nothing benefiting them, they're not going to do it. And that's why it's a stigma about rich people. Everybody say, well, it ain't about making money. It ain't about, you can have riches and have money. But everybody who have riches and who have money or not, they have a sense of a spirit on them that is not good for serving the Lord, man. You know what I mean? In order to serve the Lord, you got to be selfless. That's what you got to be. And you got to understand that what? You understand. Let me tell you something about rich people. They are not in the spirit at all. Because what they understand is that they want to live like for us, right? We understand what? That when we die, what happens? We come back and we what? Regenerate, and our kids get what we want, get what we have, or what we laid down. Now, rich people want their kids to inherit the worldly things. They want their kids to inherit that Bugatti, right? They want their kids to inherit that estate. But the people in the spirit of the Lord want our kids to inherit the righteousness, that everlasting life. Because when I know if I serve the Lord while I'm here, that my kids going to come and serve the Lord and have a good life. And boom, they're going to have their kids and they're going to have their kids. And here come back again and have this where I don't have to grow up with a mother as a crackhead. Or without having my father in life because I sold down good fruit while I was here. Now, rich people, they think that comfort and they, they think that, what keeps them safe is that they riches. Rich people think that, keep getting that $1 million home with that security, $1 million security system gonna keep them safe. Or getting that bulletproof truck gonna keep them safe. What's stopping somebody from the day you want to go get groceries to come shoot you upside your head? That your money don't save you from that. Your money don't save you from dying in car accidents. You know what I'm saying? From your kids dying. The only thing that saves you from that is the Lord. And if you don't fear him, you walking around here just trying to play the lottery with your life. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing with your life. That's why the rich people have the worst. That's why the most people who go off and kill themselves are who? Rich white people. That's what they do. They go ahead, they lose their little bit of money, and they're going to shoot themselves in their head. Go ahead.
I just read on that the CEO of
Look, that's the point. The sister just said that the CEO of Bed Bath and Beyond filed bankruptcy, but he just killed himself. He jumped off, he died. He jumped off a tall building. Why? Because he lost the only thing that mattered to him, and that thing could be taken away. Now go to verse 23.
Verse 23. And Yahweh shall look round about, and saith unto his disciples, how heartily shall they that have riches enter into the kingdom of God?
Right. Give me Matthew 19 and 24. The same account, but we're gonna get more into it. You understand? And you don't want to think about like, damn, I got money now I can't make it into the kingdom of heaven. No, but it's saying that because you have money, you have a choice you want to do, right? You have a choice that's going to happen, and that you more than likely you're not going to take the choice that you cannot see. Meaning what? They would say you will be a fool to leave all what you have that you can see and you can touch now for something that is hopeful or promised. You know what I'm saying? We're doing all this what we're doing. We're giving up all our riches and all the lust of the world just for a chance for the kingdom of heaven. And that's why the scripture said that we were fools for Christ's sake, because we willing to do the foolish thing. You know what I'm saying? We willing to go out there and leave the stuff we have in the world for something that we might get. That's a hard thing to do. That's a really hard thing to do, being a man of God, to go ahead and don't do what the world teaches you to do while you see everybody else do that and benefit from it. It's hard watching rappers smoke weed all day and get money from it. Sleeping with whores all day and get money from it. It's a hard thing to do that, and you sit back and don't do none of them things. This for a chance at the kingdom of heaven. Read what you got.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 24. Mm-hmm. And again, I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God.
Now, why it's saying it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle? That's not a literal needle. People think that's a literal needle. So, like, see, that's impossible, brother. But you know what the eye of a needle is? It's like an opening, like a passageway. You want to think of like that, a tight door. Think of like that, right? And the reason why it's hard for the camel to go through that, why? Because you have on a camel, you're a rich man. Where all your riches are at? Your riches are all on that camel. And the only way you can get past that is what? If you let some riches go. That's the only way you can make through that eye of a needle. And that's why it's hard for rich men, because rich men are known for what? Their riches. You don't care about what you only know a rich man because what he has. Meaning that today we live in a world where, like, if you have nice things, you're going to get your doors open. Because I don't care what you think about. I don't care if you molest kids. I don't care if you have a whole island where you take little boys. You got money, and I'm going to respect you. You know what I mean? That's what they do. All the people who go there, you know, Michael Jackson still honored to this day, but was a child molester. Because why? He had money. He was good at what he did, right? Let's get Luke chapter 6, verse 24.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 24. Mm-hmm. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation.
You have received your consolation. What is that? Your consolation is like what? A prize. When we play ball, right? You had what? a consolation prize, right? Now, it's ironic they use that because the consolation prize wasn't the best one, right? It wasn't. It's like a participation thing, right? Now, it says, but woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. You have received that prize. What's that prize they received? They received everything they work hard for. I applaud you, rich people. You work hard for them things. You worked hard for that Bugatti. I know you did. You worked hard for that Bugatti. You worked hard for that $1 billion home. You know, all them sneakers you got. You know what I mean? All the things you have in this world, you worked hard for it. But I also worked hard for something. I also am working hard for something. I'm working hard for the kingdom of heaven. Right? Verse 25. Go ahead.
Verse 25. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep.
And that's it right there, man. What you're going to see in this class is that the Lord is about to change the guard. That's what it's all about, a changing of the guard. And that's what happened when Christ got on the scene. When they got on the scene, the rich people, right, they was ruling. And them Pharisees and Sadducees, they said in Moses' seat, they was ruling. They had their chance to show if they could rule the nation. And what happened? They can't because they despise the poor. They despise the widows, and that's what they had did, right? Now what? Now it's going to have a time when you change the guard in order for me to receive what I want. I mean, I want the kingdom of heaven. When they said the meek shall inherit the earth, the meek is what? The powerless. I'm a powerless man, and I want to inherit the earth. Who's in charge of the earth today? Who's the hand? Who are the earth given to right now? The hands of the wicked. So in order for me to get what I want, you got to lose for what you want. You got to lose in riches, brother. I'm sorry. You got to lose everything that you work hard in this kingdom for because I want something too. And I serve God. You don't. And that's what it says. You a fool right now. We hungry. You fool. You got a nice truck, a nice car, good house. Don't have to want for nothing. But, we hungry out here. You know what I'm saying? The rich people out here, they make money off the poor. Say they make money off the labor. They want to give the Labor Day is to who? The Labor Day is not to the people who make their money. The Labor Day is to the rich folk. That's what the Labor Day is about. Labor Day is for what? Non-essential workers. What are essential workers? The hard workers, baby. That's the name for it. The hard workers. The workers who couldn't quit when it was time for COVID. And black people are all but essential workers because we don't have enough time to take days off. Right now, you probably have brothers right now trying to find a day to have this day on. They got this day off. They're trying to pick up a shift today. What white people try to do is fight for days off while black people try to fight for shifts. You try to fight for shifts, you got to leave jobs because they didn't give you enough shifts. While they go there fighting to get off of work. That's the life we live in, man. And it says, for woe unto you that are full, for you shall hunger, and woe unto you that laugh now, for you shall mourn and weep. What you see right now is just a lot of people laughing at us. Laughing. Why would you laugh at us? You laughing at us because we decided to do what? The foolish thing in the world, and that is to serve God. That's what people look at it. The most foolish thing in the world is to serve God, man. To dedicate your life to something that's bigger than you, to go out and save people who hate you. People hate that, brother. People hate that, and they willing to what? They laughing at you. They laughing at you when we go out there and talk about the Bible. They're laughing at us. When we say that God, when we say what we say at camp, they laughing at us. Right? But what had happened? It says, you laugh now, for you shall mourn and weep. And that's the day we want them. That's the big payback. That's what you call the big payback right there, right? Keep going.
Verse 26. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets.
Okay, it says, right? It's saying, woe unto you, destruction unto you, which all men speaks well of you. Meaning, who is this? Just men that's good men that's being spoken well of? Or who is this men? This is wicked men. How? Because in today's world, just because you have a reputation, people going to, treat you a certain way. Just because you come from somebody, they're going to treat you a certain way. Right? Just because you spoke well of, people forget all the nasty stuff that you done did. You know what I'm saying? Now, we understand what? The Lord is saying just because you got a reputation in this world don't mean nothing. Who? Like who? Farrakhan. People like that. Farrakhan, all these other leaders like that, who they speak real love, like they love Farrakhan. They put Farrakhan on a pedestal. You want to think about men of renown, they put Kanye on a pedestal. Jay-Z on a pedestal. Diddy, they put all them people on a pedestal. All the rich on the pedestal. But it says, woe unto you. For so did their fathers to the false prophets, meaning what? Their fathers, the people that before us, they never put the real prophets on a pedestal. They didn't speak well of them. They try to kill them. But the false prophets, the MLKs, oh, they love them. They love them. And we got to understand something, man. MLK, Farrakhan, and all the stuff that they did, that does not represent God at all. And that's the hardest thing people got to understand, because you think just because somebody's backing somebody that it got to be of God, and that's not the case. You got to understand that the world is two different worlds out here. We live in a parallel world. We got the world of America, and we got a world that the one that Christ came for. And it's two different worlds, right? And let me get Luke 6:24. We got to understand something, man. If you a friend of the world, I'm paraphrasing, if you a friend of the world, you an enemy to God. You know what I'm saying? Luke chapter 6, verse 24.
The book of Luke.
Oh, wait, I just have Luke chapter 16. Salakia, my bad. And that's the hard thing to understand, man. You understand that, you think that when your life start going good, whatever you got going on for you right now, just keep doing it. Meaning what? If I'm smoking dope right now and I'm getting money, I must be doing something right. I must be favored by God. That's what they do, man. Right? Keep going. We're going to touch on that later.
Verse 24.
Luke chapter 16, verse 19.
Verse 19. It's the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 19. There was a certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen.
Good night.
And fared
sumptuously.
Say again.
Sumptuously
every day.
Right. So you have a rich man. He was clothed in purple and fine linen, meaning he looked good. He had had a garment on. He was always looked like he was rich. We already know what that sound like already. Go to verse 20, man.
Verse 20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus.
Beggar,
Salakia, named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 21. And desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores.
So right now you have the rich man, right? Clothed in purple and fine linen. You got this beggar named Lazarus, and he's sitting at this man's gate full of sores. And he said he just wanted the crumbs that fell off that rich man's table. That's all he wanted. But moreover, meaning what? Howsoever, the dogs came and licked his sores. Now, what happened when dogs lick your sores? It gets worse. So it's saying this man's in a low state, man. This man is just going through it, man, right? Go to verse 22.
Verse 22. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom.
Right.
The rich man also died and was buried.
So we have what? The beggar was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom, and the rich man died and was buried. So what is Abraham's bosom? What is a bosom? Is something close to you, right? So what would you think was close to Abraham? Or what's Abraham synonymous for? Any shot? The promises, which is what? Start with a C. The covenants. Get that sister in hand. So this, what you see right here, Abraham bosom is about the covenant, right? And what you see is that when we talked about is the changing of the guard, right? Because the rich people were supposed to have the seat, right? The rich people had the seat. Meaning when it said Many are called, few are chosen. The people who was called first, you know what it was called first? The rich. The Pharisees and Sadducees, they had their chance. They had the chance to what? Go and dictate the nation, to rule over the poor. And they did a terrible job, right? So now you have a change of the guard. So now that rich man was supposed to be in that seat. He's supposed to be in that covenant. But he wasn't. And that poor man is going to take that seat over, right? Give me Romans James 2 and 5. Give me that. James 2 and 5 to show y'all. Right? Or give me Moses 23 and 2. Right? Matthew 23 and 2. Yeah, I said Moses 23 and 2. I'm in the book of Enoch. And like, what that Bible at?
I was looking. I thought I was.
He was looking. That's talking for part 2 right there. That's book of the
real.
What's something else right there?
You said Matthew 23 and 2? It's the book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 2. Saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat.
So they sit in a position of what? A position of power, position of authority, right? Go ahead.
Verse 3. All therefore, whatsoever they bid, you observe and do. But do not ye after their works, for they say and do not.
So everything they say do it, but not after their works. Why? How come I gotta listen? Why come I gotta listen to somebody, but not do what they do? Because that makes them what? A hypocrite. That's why, and that's what's going on at the time. That's what's going on. We thought that's what the righteousness of Christ is, the righteousness of faith of Christ. Because what was our other righteousness before Christ? How can we establish our righteousness before Christ? We had to go and look to the people that we thought was the closest to God. And we just did what they did, thinking that would make us closer to God. Just like what that sound like today. Pastors. We think we don't have no idea about the Bible, Yahadia, but we think that, Pastor Reverend Charles, the Bishop III, whatever he's doing in his life, and he got a Rolls Royce, he got, 3, 4, 5 estates. I just got to do what he does. Then I will be like him. I will be closer to God. That's the exact same thing that's going on right now. So Christ is letting them know what they say do. Like they say keep the commandments. They say do that, but they are not doing it themselves. And that's what verse 4 is saying. Go to verse 4.
Verse 4. For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves would not move them with one of their fingers. So
they make you do all these things that them themselves are not doing. Now, this is a position when you have a position of authority and power and have a position of rich, that's what they do. Rich people always want to tell you, rich people and powerful people always tell you that you got to do this. You know what I mean? You got to be able to know to make it like me. You got to put in 80 hours a week. 80 hours a week, all day and night. That's what I did. And I worked harder than everybody. And you a damn lie. You didn't work harder than nobody. You put false burdens on us, but we could never get to like what you did. The way you got to your place was scamming. You robbed the people. That's what you did. You robbed the people for what they have, and that's why you putting these false burdens on us. If you want what I have, brother, you got to put all your money into Forex. Put all your money into this stock. That's how I made my money. I invested all my money into real estate. You telling me the people like Donald Trump, all that money you got because you invest into real estate, all these people, and that was the case. How come all these people are always talking about, what is it, the IRS? Are always looking at these people, always looking at millionaires. Why? Because they got their money doing illegal things. Things that they don't want to tell us about. Because why? In order for the rich to stay rich, they got to feed off the poor. I make my money off of you not knowing. That's how I make my money. Now, let's get back to Luke chapter 16, right? Oh, let me get Matthew 8 and 11 real quick to just keep on clarifying that, the changing of the guard, That's what you have. You having like that's what you show. What you seeing right now is who Christ really came for. We know Christ came for what? Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. But what you seeing that Christ came for even more. He came for the meek. He came for the powerless. He came for the poor of Israel. Christ himself came in the likeness of all his brethren. Came in his brethren, right? How did Christ grow up? He grew up in the worst. He grew up in Nazareth. What good could come out of Nazareth, right? That's what he did. You got Matthew 18:11?
I got it. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 8, verse 11. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven.
Right. Why? Because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because that is the completion of the covenant. We say Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? Our forefathers, the patriarchs of the covenant, right? Many of us that are scattered to the four corners of the earth will be gathered together in that covenant, right? Verse 12.
Verse 12. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and
gnashing. Oh, it froze? Gnashing and no sweat. I don't know if I'm still able to be on the screen, but gnashing of teeth, right? So what? Who are the children of the kingdom? What part? So what are we talking about right now? We talking about there's a changing of the guard. So it says the children of the kingdom will be cast out of darkness. So is that saying that the people who want to go into the kingdom are going to be cast into darkness? No, what it's saying is that the people that was supposed to, right? The children of the kingdom were who? The children of the kingdom was what? The rich, the people who were supposed to be in charge, the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Where's the children of the kingdom? Because they think because you come from this certain family that the kingdom is in your hand. Like you're gonna get the kingdom, right? Just like today when you have a family, you growing from a certain family, you look at it a certain way. But them people, the rich, they're gonna be cast out of darkness. That's the changing of the guard, right? Now, let me see. Yeah, how they have something. Try to get back on here. So lock you. I'm just gonna keep reading until he get back on here. It says, verse 23 is Luke chapter 16, verse 23. It says, and in hell he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I'm tormented in this flame. So we know what hell is, a low state. Like, what you gotta understand is, what Christians think this is talking about? This is what's gonna happen in hell. This is when you get it like you're gonna burn in hell forever. Forever. Well, if he in hell, why is his body there? Why he has a tongue? If his body's in the dirt. Christians got to answer that, man. I'm going to keep going. Verse 25, but Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And beside all this, between us and you, there's a great gulf fixed, so that they which will pass from hence to you cannot. Neither can they pass to us and will come from thence. Meaning what? We're going to see. We're going to keep going. For I have 5, he said, then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house. For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment. And so what is he trying to say? He's trying to say, I need to warn my people that if they don't do what's right, this is what they're going to experience. This is what's going to be suffering. They're going to get judged in their next life. They're going to see that they're going to get punished for the things that they did. And the poor are going to experience that what? That covenant of Abraham. We're going to get with that seed. We're going to get the kingdom of heaven. They're going to get all their torments, right? And that's why in verse 29, it says, Abraham said unto him, They have Moses and the prophets. Let them hear them. And he said, nay, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. So what he's saying? Man, if I show them right now, you let me out, I'll go, they're going to listen to me. But look what he says. And he said unto them, if they had not Moses and the prophets, neither would they be persuaded through one rose from the dead. What you got to understand is, man, a lot of people look for a sign. A lot of people look for things. They say, man, if I see this, man, if this number hit, I'll change my life right now. If my lotto numbers hit right now, I'll change my life. If this happens, if I see this, if I start seeing pigs fly, I'm going to change my life. And one thing you got to understand is that they not. Because here we are. You have Moses and the prophets, meaning what? You have the law and the prophets. And you should hear us. When you go out there and camp, they should hear us. They don't. Why? Because their mind is on other things. Their mind is on just trying to get that dollar. And that love of money will lead them into their death. Because you're trying to make money in a nation where the only way you can become successful, the only way you can get money is by being sinful. And I'm talking about money. I'm not talking about no little six figures. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about like millions on millions. Rich, powerful money. Money that can make some change. Right? Now, James 2:5. It says, hearken, my beloved brethren, have not God chosen the poor of this world rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom which he had promised to them that love him? What it means to love God? How can you love God? Doing his laws, statutes, and commandments. Why? Because if you ask your other person, right, your spouse, you a man, you ask your woman, like, you know what I mean? Oh, your woman asks your man, like, how do you like to be loved? Like, what do you want? What they call it in therapy? Love language. What's your love language? And you go like, well, I like to be, I like, you touch me a certain way. I like when, you buy me things. I like when this. And then you will understand that to your partner. You will understand that to your, y'all a couple, right? Y'all married, you're man and wife, right? You understand that. You be like, well, yeah, okay, I gotta start doing this. She don't feel loved because I'm not doing what's her love language. I ain't doing how she said. I ain't showing her how I love her, right? So why is that not different with God? If God said, hey, if you love me, if you want to show me that you're on my side, I need you to do this. And let me tell you something. When we say, man, God is the biggest gangster out there, we showing hell, this is the fact. When you let me tell you something. When you talk about gangsters, they make you choose them over your family. Right? You gotta say, you gotta pick me over your family. I don't get down with your family, but you gotta be on my side. You're willing to do that. Your family hates me. And that's how the Lord is. He's like, your family hates me. Your family don't celebrate. Your family don't keep my holy days. They keep their holidays. Your family on their own thing. They gonna serve me when they feel like it. Your family put me as a side piece. I'm not saying that's how they treat God. They treat God as a side piece, meaning, he's good for certain things. He's good there for when I need a prayer to win this, but he's not when I need when I want to celebrate my birthday. I'm not gonna go to him. When I look for a birthday gift, I ain't gonna go to him. I mean, he against that, so I'm only gonna go to him on the other days that mean something. When I'm going hard, I ain't gonna look at him when I gotta do things that force me not to do. When I gotta put away things, and that's what nobody likes. That's why not everybody can serve God, right? Because first of all, you look at him as your equal. You look at God as your equal, just like you look at God as another man. Like you a whore and another man, that's what you look at God as. That's why I say, that's why the Lord said we adulterers. We a backsliding whore. Because that's what whores do. Whores look at the men. Whores look at men like they equals or less than. And then the man don't give them what they want, they leaving. Why? Because you're not with that man because of what he could give to you or who he are. You with him because of what he is. You with that man because he's just a man. And when you get tired of him, he's going to go find you another man. Right? But if you really love that man for who he was, who he is, you want to be like, man, I love this man. I can't leave him. I can't find another one like this. And that's the exact same way they look at our God. They're like, he's just a God. Mm-hmm. I'll go find Allah real quick. Allah said I can eat the pork when I'm hungry. I'm starving all the time. You know what I mean? You a man. Allah said I could beat my wife. I'm a hitter. Allah said I could do everything. Allah said I could smoke weed and have tattoos. Allah said I could beat all this and be in prison at the same time. I could do what I want to do. All I got to do is wear a bow tie and sell bean pies. I'm in with it. Right? Oh, what's this guy saying? Y'all go to all kinds of stuff. Now you serving nature. Now you in the Book of the Dead. Now you in Buddhism. You serving all that because you're not following God for who He is. You're not following the Most High God because He's merciful and that He only put you above everything. You don't care about that. It's like you don't care about men. You only say, "Oh yeah, I just need a guy who's gonna do what I say." Right? Now, verse 6, James 2:6 says, "But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats?" So if rich man is oppressing you, who are you despising? It's the poor despising the poor. Let me tell you something. Nobody hate poor people more than poor people. Black people, and why you think the hood and the ghettos is so much of a horrible place? People are getting shot, they stealing, robbing from each other, and none of them have nothing. I ain't condoning robbing, but you don't think nobody would have a chance to go and steal something out of a rich neighborhood where they actually have things? Well, no, you have the poor oppressing the poor. And that is, in fact, a scripture. And we're going to get that. Proverbs 28:3. It says, "A poor man that oppresses the poor is like a sweeping rain which leaveth no food." What does that mean? What happens? What is a sweeping rain? When you have a big old rain, a flood, come and drag up all the food. Now what you left with? Nothing. The rain wipes up everything. Right? Now, what is this saying? What does it sound like it's saying? How rich people, they the same thing, same state. They oppressing each other. Meaning when somebody try to do something that somebody's bringing somebody else down, they're stealing from one another. What would you say that? Does that not sound like crabs in the barrel, right? And that's what this scripture is saying. Because in order for us to make something, we gotta understand that we are holding ourselves back. You hate to see a brother do better than you. Why? Because you envy the rich. You love the rich so much that you hate the man who got the same exact stuff as you. You love the rich so much that you cannot even think that to yourself that the reason why you're in this position is because of them. How about I think that I'm poor because of redlining? You know what I mean? How about I'm poor because you know they put crack in my neighborhoods. The rich put crack in my neighborhoods. They sent my dad off to Vietnam. They took the jobs out of our neighborhoods. I'm not gonna think about that. I'm not gonna think about I'm broke. I'm not living good because of that. I'm gonna think, well, this man right here, this man Jamal, he owe me $5, but he want to go buy me a pair of shoes. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna take his life from him now. He disrespected me. You want to talk about disrespect? The main people disrespecting you is the rich, the people you look up to. Can you imagine going there and you going there into the rich people and the people you look up to? You try to be like, trying to get advice from them how to be how they is, and they just take everything from you. That's what they do. You got to fight. You got a whole life. You got to go and kiss up to the rich. This for them to lie to you and say that you got to do this way and do that way. When them themselves, you got to go find you a rich man he says in real estate when he inherited all this from his father. Try to give you the game. Why he just taking all your labor. And that's what it's about, man. And they're going to pay for getting free labor of a Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You got free labor off the Lord's chosen people, and you have to pay for that, right? Now let me get that Shalagia. James 5:1. Right? Shalagia. There you go, right there.
You hear me?
James 5:1. Con, please, I get you.
I know, so sorry, my computer had down.
Yeah, no.
You said James 5:1. This is the book of James, chapter 5, verse 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
Keep going.
Verse 2. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten.
Right, eaten by moths. It's old, right? Meaning what? You see it, this is a change. Again, is a changing of the guard. The Lord's going to take what you seeing right now, man. All them Elon Musk, you're going to see everybody file for bankruptcy. You're going to see all of them do it, man, because they, for so long, they made money off of us. Free labor, and they cannot get away with it. You think God is mocked? God is not mocked. Meaning, whenever he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. And he's not going to be made a laughingstock. And sure in the hell not going to let his people be a laughingstock. He's not going to have us out there at camp all along, brother, and saying how the white man going to fall and all that going to collapse and, his kingdom going to come to the end. And they just walking past and laugh. They walk past and laugh. They walk past and laugh. You know what I mean? But let me tell you something, man. When 9/11 happened, they didn't expect them 10 Twin Towers to hit. And them 9/11 happened, they was finna kill themselves. They had to break down. People was crying over this America. But let me tell you something. There's going to be something that happened to this place that's 10 times, 100 times worse than 9/11. There's going to be 9/11 in every city, every state here in America, man. People going to cry and howl. They're going to be mad. They're going to be whatever you imagine. Whatever happens should bring glory on your face. Should bring happiness on your face. Because why? Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about the poor, Yahadia. Nobody does. You know why nobody does? Because that's just like right now. You have two people. You have people. Rappers get into it. Rappers start fighting. Everybody want to know what's going on with a rapper. Everybody want to watch interviews with a rapper. Everybody want to have companionship on a rapper. Be compassionate with them. Oh, see, he like this because he really got to be like this. He from the hood. He got to do this. Everybody has compassion on them. Everybody understands rappers who make money. Everybody understands a rapper who gonna kill his brother because he just got to do it that way because he lived that life. They understand that, but let somebody regular do something like that, man. I'm not gonna care about no poor man. You only good as much money you have, and that's a dangerous thing because let me tell you how it's dangerous. We live in a world where you gotta do certain things for money. Meaning what? You want to think? Don't think of money as a dollar. You want to think about the act you got to do to get what you want. Meaning that right now, if you want to be rich, for example, I'm gonna tell you why you should never judge a man based on how much money he has. Because if I reward men, right? If you reward men, how can I say it? Okay, if you reward women, most women are getting more and more money involved because they what? Become whores. Meaning if prostitutes Yahadia became the biggest number one seller, the biggest number one job, they became billionaires. All prostitutes became billionaires. Should I say that this woman is successful? Should I say this woman is meant something because she's a billionaire? No, because she's a damn whore. Same way for these men getting money, you scamming, you doing all these different things. These other men above the rulers of this world, they do all this. How you getting that money? You saying that man's better than me because he steals more than me? That man is better than me because he scams more than me? That man's better than me because he sells drugs more than me? Go ahead.
If I could, what you're saying is absolutely right and extremely heavy because just like what the TJ dude from Detroit, he raps about scamming and he's glorified and known for scamming. And another thing you said with the women, well, all the women would get all this money for being prostitutes. I mean, they have a thing called the OnlyFans, and they're glorified and put on the top, and it's seen as they're better women than the normal women because they show their body more. So what you're saying is absolutely on point. So
right, damn right, priest. Like what you said with the OnlyFans. How can I forget? The OnlyFans was making people millionaires, and that's why you gotta understand when you get you a righteous woman. That when you being a righteous woman, let me tell you something. There ain't nothing to take lightly, man. Y'all just out here gonna get just like we wait for what we want. That's why Christ said neither male nor female, because we're one. Just like we go out there, the man gotta deal with what they gotta deal with. Y'all righteous women gotta deal with what y'all deal with. Because y'all are, it's the shame they put on y'all for what? Sticking to your husband. Girl, why you with him? Girl, he said you can't wear it. You can't. He dictates what you wearing. He controlling. Girl, you need to get you another man. Oh, you with him? He got another woman too? Girl, you crazy in the head. That's what they do, right? Because their success is based on this place. You know how easy it is to make money? Oh, you telling me all I gotta do is scam somebody? See, everybody love listening to people talk about scamming until they once getting scammed. Now it's a bad thing, huh? That was a bad thing. everybody talk about they love music about people getting murdered until they wearing their cousin on their t-shirt. That hurt, don't it? That hurt. Everybody love talking about how, you talk about, whores. You love listening to that music about whores, and until you end up with some AIDS or some STDs. You love homosexuals braiding your hair until you get monkeypox on the back of your neck. I mean, when you gonna start realizing that the reason this world's like this is because you support it? Whole reason why the black people are suffering is because you support the ways of the rich. The ways of the rich, because their ways, and the only reason they are rich is because the person above us, the oppressor, gives them riches based on things they do. They dictate how you make money in this place. That you don't make money from righteous ways in this place. Name me one person who's making money from being righteous. Name me one righteous businessman. Name me one righteous rapper. One somebody righteous athlete. You said, well, they don't commit murder. Athletes don't commit murder. Show me what kind of God's laws they keeping. Show me, because you think what's righteous is based on what America told you. You think that if I go in there and kill, but I can make a song about it, how I felt sorry about it, I'm good. I just got to rap about my music. That's why y'all so mad that they using the rappers lyrics against them. Well, let me tell you something, man. If you go to jail for your lyrics, you should deserve to go to jail for your lyrics. Because how dumb can you be? How dumb can you be to go ahead and just and go and say things you did on record? Why? Because you seen rich people do it. You envy the rich. Y'all black people think y'all the same people. Man, y'all go watch the interview how white people go around and say, I did X, Y, and Z, and they get all this. They get full immunity. Man, nothing happened to them. But y'all go out there think y'all the same thing as white people and go out there and do the exact same thing. You know what I mean? And it's a time that we got to just stop supporting people. That's it. Just imagine we just stand up as black folks and say, hey, man, now wrong is wrong. Like they just not talking about Tiffany Haddish. Like, damn, yeah, what's going to be the straw? This been happening all over TV. You know what I'm saying? This been happening. They've been exploiting little kids. You know what I'm saying? When y'all going bench? When y'all always want to be quick. Y'all quick to talk about Tiffany Haddish, right? They quick to do that, but nobody want to talk about that uncle that's that uncle that's in their household. It's easy for you to talk about other people, but you don't want to fix your own house. That's the issue. You don't want to fix the hard things. It's easy for me to talk about celebrity. It's easy for me to talk about the life that the celebrity should have did this, the rapper should have did this. But when somebody in your family, when your uncle molesting somebody, you ain't about to speak about that. Oh, you don't know what I had to think about. You know what I had to go through. And you was a coward. When you let people do what they want to do, you with them, man. That's the problem. Y'all poor people going around loving the rich, and y'all poor. Good night. Oh yeah, give me that scripture again. Give me
what you want?
Verse. Go to James 5. Let's finish this out. James 5 and 3. We're gonna finish all the way to 6.
It's the book of James, chapter 5, verse 3. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be witness against you.
You're gonna lose everything you had. You're gonna lose, and we're gonna see who really got the power. Keep going.
And shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Verse 4. Verse 4. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back by fraud, crying. And the cries of them which have reaped and are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabbath.
Let me tell you something, man. This right here. I just behold the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, meaning, so like you. I mean, these rich people are keeping back what? The laborers. Who are the laborers? Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You keep them down so much that what? Their cries are going up and enter into the Lord of the Sabbath. Just like what, Yahadi? Just like Egypt. Just like when they was making us work. They kept us down by fraud. You either gonna work or don't eat. You either gonna work harder or don't eat. That's what you're gonna do. Just like what? Sharecropping. Hey, you get out of slavery, You just let somebody go out of slavery. They've been working for you your whole life. You let them out. Boom, they go try to get more jobs, and you go put them in jail. Go put them in jail for being on other people's property trying to find jobs to go work. So instead of having them what? Be owned by what? Then when they do that, what happens? You throw them in jail. So what happens with that? You're not owned by the person no more. You owned by the what? The government, the state. Still a slave. You're just not a slave to a person. You slave to a state. Then when you're in jail for the state, they bring you to work for a certain man. A certain man. They make you work for him. So now you're in the same position you was. You hold them back by fraud. Thinking that we free, we out of slavery. We got good opportunities now. You know, if you don't want to make it to jail, you know, you go to jail, you know, they're going to send you back to that slave owner. You're going to work for him underneath the jail. That's it. But does it really matter who you underneath when you're the one working? If I'm getting paid, if I'm getting paid $7 an hour for the same work, does it matter if Walmart signing my checks or HEB? Does it matter? If I gotta pick up dog shit for the rest of my life, so like it doesn't matter who's signing the checks, who company I'm working for. So if I gotta sit there and work some crops, does it matter if it's for Willie Lynch or it's for the jail system? No, it don't matter to me. I'm doing the exact same work. Then if I don't want to do that work, I might as well share a crop. Now you might as well work for me, and I'll give you a place to rest your head and clothes to wear. What the hell that sound like? That's the exact same position I was in. You kept us back by fraud. That's what it is. You kept us back by fraud. You said we had opportunities. You said we had an opportunity to make it, but it was all fraud. And our cries, the Lord is listening to our cries. Everything he done did. Go to verse 5.
Verse 5. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth.
That's what you did. You lived in pleasure on the earth. You lived in everything. You did, man, stuff that nobody can even think about the Lord's children. And y'all want to say, we all children of God. We all children of God. Well, let me tell you something. We all children of God. If you had children, right? You had sons. You had sons, and 2 of your sons was to always bully the other son when you punish 2 of your sons. When you do that, we was all children of God. You still got to get punished because you were harming us. But it so happened to be that we're not all children of God. So that means that what? If 2 strangers was picking on your kid, what's going to happen? Somebody got to die. Somebody got to die. That's thus say the Lord. That's what you just do with your carnal emotion. As being a man, that's something I would do. Now, why would I not expect the Lord who made me have the same emotions? Right? Keep going.
And been wanting, ye have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter. Verse 6. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you.
That's what they do. They kill and they condemn and kill the just. Everything what had the rich people do, they go against and they what? They got to make sure it's for just people. That's what they do. They go ahead and kill us and do all this stuff to us, all because of what? They got money. They got power. How many times in movies you watch, they do something crazy wrong, but they get it hit up because they know the mayor. They know the secretary. That's what they do, right? And that's what we got to deal with. We in life where, you know, it don't matter about your morals or what you think about. It doesn't matter who you know. If you know somebody rich. And when you be like the rich, and you want to be like the rich, you're going to become them sooner or later. You're going to become like the rich in their mind. You're going to become the rich in their iniquity and not in their money. America wants black folks to have the mindset of the rich with none of the money. Because rich people hate poor people. That's why poor people hate poor people. You in the hood, Yahadia, but you have goals of making it out the hood. So you're going to hate the people who want to stay in the hood. Look, y'all the exact same. We don't have nothing. Who you think put you in that hood? Who you think redlined that hood? You think Jamal had the power to redline your house? You think Jamal is the reason why your mom is struggling? How's about your pursuit of money? How about the fact that you're struggling, the fact that you live in a horrible life is because you want to be rich so bad, you want to be little baby so bad, you got to go sell that dope. Now your mama, dad, they shot up your house. They shot up your house because you in the street. What you expect? What you expect? You expect that you're going to live a good, plentiful life, selling dope, scamming? No, now you want to blame God for when you get caught scamming. God helped little baby out. Since little baby made it, I should make it. And that's how we fall in the loophole. If little baby made a millionaire, God was with little baby. How can God not be with little baby if he's up there, got his own TV series, got his own Rolls Royce and all this? I might as well. It's easier for a man to become like a rapper or to commit sin than for a man to be a man of God. You know how hard that is? A regular man will see a whore and want to have sex with that whore. A man of God will see that whore and cannot deal with her. And that's what the problem with the rich men are. The rich men go in front of TV screens and talk all about this. They go around and say, I'm against homosexuality, and they the homosexuals themselves. I'm against drugs, but they in a Playboy mansion doing cocaine. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Christ said this. Christ told them about the Pharisees and Sadducees, do what they say. Because they is telling you stop being a homosexual. They is saying don't do drugs. They is saying do that, but don't do after that works. You know what I'm saying? We in our place, we think that when we get a little bit of money in our pocket as black folk, we diminish our whole family. You know what I'm saying? We diminish our whole family. We gotta take their ways. It's like what you're doing is you literally choosing sides. What you're doing is literally choosing sides. Like the person saying what? If you want to be down with us, you gotta leave everything of God. And that's what people don't understand. The devil rewards nicely too, brother. Good night. Everybody want to say, hey, everybody want to talk about the devil. The devil on their back. Well, where you think the devil at when you getting all that money for selling drugs? The scriptures say that, the scriptures say this. The scriptures say that, when you get riches, it's going to come without sorrow if it's from God. So all that money you making, you end up dying from it. So the same way you making money, you end up getting monkeypox from how you getting money. You know how many people are making money because they're homosexual? What do you have to offer? What do you have to offer besides being a homosexual? You known for being a drag queen and that making you money. You telling me that all you doing is videotaping you taking credit cards and that's how you making money? And this is why we are different from the whole world. We are different from the whole world because we do things that people think is dumb. Why, Yahadia? Why not turn 200 to 2,000, Yahadia? What's stopping me? Why not? God is the reason why we don't. And let me tell you something. The streets pay out good. You make about quick money in the streets. OnlyFans got a good paycheck, Yahadia. The women from OnlyFans make a good amount of money. You know what I mean? What's some other ways? The NBA, the NFL, they pay out really good. Them TV shows, them actors, they get good money. This how much more you think that the Lord gonna pay you for serving him. I work for the Lord. Just imagine what my paychecks look like. Just imagine what our paycheck gonna look like. They got that 401k. Well, we want the 144k. That's what we want. You working hard for the 401k. We want the 144k. That's what we working hard for.
That's right.
See what it's like. I'm just saying, Yahadia, they can have theirs. I know what I'm working for. And best believe, I'm going to get what I'm owed. And y'all got to weep, just like that scripture said. Where we at? We're at
James 5 and 6.
Let me get Proverbs 22 and 16.
I swear.
Let me tell you something, man. You can love the rich all you want. They don't give a damn about you. That's all I'm trying to save you, brother. Christ told you before. The rich don't give a damn about you. You know why? Because the poor, when you become rich, people blame your own people. You act like it's the way when black people get money, they act like now it's a equal opportunity. Like, forget all the people in the hood. Now I made it, anybody could make it. So who's holding them back? They holding their own selves back. You have no compassion for your people. You are not meant to rule a nation. Because that's why Christ had to what? Have a changing of the guard. That's why the rich done lost their seat. They was in Moses' seat and they did nothing with it. They despised the widows. They hated the poor. And that's how we suffer. We suffer because our people hate our people. And so happen to be that majority of our people are poor. In spirit and physically. Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 16. He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want.
So the people, right? So like, let me get this real quick. The people who oppress, meaning the rich people who oppress the poor to increase his riches, meaning what? You reading that right now that in order for the rich to be rich, you gotta have the poor. It gotta be a gap. How in the hell, me and you, Yahadi, if we was to go make money, it's only me and you two, me and you, right? And I gotta go ahead and make me money. You my only competition. If I teach you my ways, I'm gonna lose money. Am I gonna teach you my ways? No. Hell, especially if not if you a black, if you a colored, if you a spick, an Indian, I ain't gonna teach you nothing. I mean, 40 years after slavery, they was going through their Great Depression and we was booming. I ain't never having that happen again. I must be a fool. So what? Can you read that scripture one more time?
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 16. He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want.
He that giveth to the rich. Who gives to the rich? Let me tell you something. Let a rich man walk in this room right now. Rich men don't have to pay for nothing. Let a rich man walk in any room. Somebody's going to buy that man's meal. Somebody's going to give him a place to stay for free because he is rich. And both of them going to come to want because you envy that man. You want to be just like him. And you want to do whatever you got to do for that. That's it, what you got to do. Now, go to the next verse.
Verse 17. Bow down thine ear and hear to the words of the wise, and apply thine heart unto my knowledge. Verse 18.
Now, give me Ecclesiastes 13:1.
No sweat. Ecclesiastes or Ecclesiasticus?
Ecclesiasticus, Salaki.
No sweat. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13, verse 1.
Let me get chapter 10. We're going to end off on just chapter 10 and 11. Because one thing we got to understand is that the rich do whatever they want. And because they do whatever they want, you can't do what they want. You can't do what they do. Because go ahead. I'm not dropping the gun. Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 10. You want verse 1?
Verse 30.
Verse 30. The poor man is honored for his skill, and the rich man is honored for his riches.
Meaning what? People justify people who they are because of what he has, rich people. Meaning if you drive around with a Bugatti, hey man, you got my respect. Good night. Don't ask me how I got it. Don't ask no whore how she got her Bugatti, how she got her Birkin bag. She just had to suck a couple rods for it. Don't ask her how she got it. Right? That's how they say respect. Hey, don't disrespect how she got it. She did her way. You didn't have sex with 50 men. This is real life. This is life we live in today. Women going to have sex with 50 men. This is their life. To sleep with men to get a Birkin bag. Why? Why are Birkin bags famous? Because the rich have it. Why everybody want to? Have you ever seen a Rolls Royce commercial? I sure have never seen a Rolls Royce commercial. But why do all black folk want a Rolls Royce? Because the rich men have it. You know all the statistics that you know who the biggest sellers of Louis Vuitton are? Black people who can't afford it. You know who get the most Mercedes? Black people who can't afford it. Black people try so hard to envy a people, to want things that God does not, that look like minute in God's eyes. Tell me this, yeah. If you had a choice, I'm just asking y'all to be truthfully honest. If I could, would you rather you have you a nice Mercedes, or would you have would you have the best Mercedes or a decent chariot?
A decent chariot?
A decent chariot.
I mean, I might take that Mercedes. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh man, this dude right here, man. Dude. Any other brother besides Yachty gonna take?
You said if I could, you saying like in a carnal aspect of like stuff to obtain in the world, or are we speaking on the spiritual aspect?
If I ask you right now, I say, hey brother, I got this. I'm gonna say UFO for the people. You got these UFO chariots. You want this decent UFO chariot? Somebody put in the chat what they would choose, because I think you ain't misunderstanding. You want this nice, the best Mercedes you could ever have, or you just want this decent chariot, this decent chariot that just move. When it moved, it turned not. I mean, it travels so fast. I know what I want.
I'll take the chariot.
Most High in Christ, brother said the chariot. I mean, that's just the obvious answer. I mean, that's just the obvious answer for me. Because why? Why I say why? Most High in Christ, always in the choir. I said I say decent chariot because the things in our kingdom, when we call decent, when we call broke down, will be the best of this world. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you not know the least of our kingdom is gonna be better than all these people, all what these people have? You know what I'm saying? The least of the kingdom. Let me tell you something, man. You're not gonna get upset when you have the least in the kingdom based on what white folks have. You're gonna get upset based off that you see that, damn, I could have had what this brother had because he dedicated his life here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still like, let's imagine this. You got the work, like the stuff we have. Let's imagine having a decent house in the kingdom of heaven. What's on Christ here? But I'm saying, when you have a decent house in the kingdom of heaven, brother, just imagine if I made me what would be a decent house in the kingdom of heaven here on earth. You would call me a billionaire. You would call me a millionaire. I'm talking about gold, a full house of gold. They be trying to talk about, they would try to arrest me. They talk about, I need to donate my money to the poor. That's how bad our house is gonna be. We talking about, you know, that's the kingdom of heaven. What people don't understand is they fighting for this life, and this life don't give you nothing. This life have given nothing to give. You want that? I'd rather have a decent. I'd rather have a decent chariot than the best Mercedes they got out there. You know what I'm saying? But people, we gotta understand something. It's just a changing of a mindset, because you just want what you never had. And if you want what you never had, why not go for the kingdom of heaven? You know what I mean? If you really want something that you never had before, if you want to be different from everybody, why not be set apart right here? Why not? What we are dealing with is that shame. That's why everybody think that Adam and Eve was really naked, because everybody experienced that same shame that they did. They all experiencing that same shame that Adam and Eve did. Why? Their shame was based on the fact that they was different from everybody else. And right now, you don't want to be different from everybody else, because why not? Why would I? Why if I'm a woman, Yadi? Why not? Why I gotta change my life? I could just be a whore and make millions of dollars. Why I gotta listen to one man? I gotta have multiple men. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Lord is saying. Y'all laugh now. Y'all enjoy. Y'all got what you have now, but it's gonna come sooner or later. You know, that monkeypox is gonna turn to gorilla pox later. The monkeypox gonna turn to gorilla pox. So like, yeah. And then and then what happened after that? Good night. Keep going. Let's keep going on scripture. Let's finish the scripture off.
I'm on verse 31, Ecclesiastes chapter 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 31. He that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty?
Meaning what? Meaning he that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? Meaning if you honor amongst little things, like you poor and you an honorable man, you keep God's commandments, you do all these different things. You don't go there and rent's due. You don't think about selling some weed to get your rent done. You're going through a hard time. You don't think about smoking weed to get past. So when you get the good things, when the Lord give you the good things, you're gonna be more honored than that. Because you're gonna know, like, I was honored in less. Now why lose that for more? You know what I'm saying? And that's what the kingdom of heaven is about. Right now, all we go through is just to be tried in the fire, to see that, like, the thing that we're gonna be in charge of, are we ready for it? And that's what Satan's job is. Satan's job is to make sure that the people who don't deserve it don't make it to the kingdom of heaven. That's Satan's job. You understand that? Meaning that God don't do that to any man. God, when you say God don't tempt any man, meaning that you say, oh yeah, God, God know my thing is whores. I got, I Lord than sitting whores down. No, the Lord don't tempt any man. You are tempted by that through your own lusts. I mean, the only way you can be tempted through whores is what? If you like whores, right? And right now you love money, so you could be tempted to sleep with whores if it's for money. A lot of y'all men gay, not even really gay. A lot of y'all men just gay for the money. Good night. That's a whole nother topic. But y'all men right there, y'all think that when y'all do on a TV screen, it's not real life. Y'all go out there and see with a man on the TV screen, damn near grind up on each other, but just because ain't nothing went in nothing, that you ain't gay. You kiss on the man, but since you kiss on a man for $1 million, you ain't gay. I mean, that Bad Bunny dude, he had to go. That dude probably don't even like dudes, but he had to go kiss that man because of what? That's how he made money. Good night, Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X had it before he had that song. He wasn't gay. Now all of a sudden, when he started booming, he got to be gay now. The way you get money in this world is by sinning against God, plain and simple. When I say money, I'm talking about money. I'm talking about riches. I ain't talking about you think that you doing some damage because you making like $10,000 a month. No, I'm talking about money. I'm talking about the men out there who making $100,000 a month, $200,000 a month. The people out there who's really making bread. Right? Keep going in that scripture. Go down to Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 18. And it says, and he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty? Meaning that this man is dishonorable amongst a lot of stuff. Just imagine taking all this man money away. What happens when you take all this man money away? He's going to kill. He's going to kill for all the stuff he had. He was killing with the money, Yadia. What you going to think when you take it all away from him when he in poverty? He going to rob the poor. The people who make money, the rich people who can make money are the poor people who hated their own people. The whole reason you're supposed to get money is to help your nation. Right? Like you had no problem tithing your money when you was only making $10, $10 check. If you had a price, that's what it's saying. Like that's exactly what it's saying. You had no problem. Like if you had no problem tithing $1 from your $10 check, you would have no problem tithing, $100 out your $1,000 check, or $1,000 out of your $10,000 check. But if you had a problem tithing, you had $10 in your name, and you said, "Man, I can't tithe. I ain't got enough money. I need my dollar." You're not going to tithe when you got $100,000. You're not going to do that. You're not. Don't think you are. You think you are. You're not. Keep going. Give me Ecclesiastes 11 and 18. You got it?
So
you're on mute.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 18. There is that waxeth rich by his wariness and pinching, and this is the portion of his reward. Keep going.
Yeah, this is gonna be his reward right here. I want to envy the rich so much. I want to be like the rich so much. If you want to be like the rich, you could be like the rich. Ain't nobody stopping you. You just gonna get the same reward he gonna get. That's just straight up and down. Keep going.
Verse 19. Whereas he saith, I have found rest, and now will eat continually of my goods. And yet he knoweth not what time shall come upon him, and that he must leave those things to others and die.
Yeah, keep going.
Verse 20. Be steadfast.
Real quick. You gotta understand something, man. Like a lot of people when they get money, they think that they retired. Let me tell you something. You in the truth, brother. You ain't never such thing as retiring in the truth. You can't retire in here. You ain't no such thing as retire. You know what I mean? You don't retire in here. The retirement plan you're gonna get, you know, what I mentioned earlier today, when they retire in the world, they get that 401k. We're gonna retire and we're gonna get that 144k. That's our retirement plan. That's my family plan. I'm willing to put them all online. That's what we want. That's why, at least that's what I want. I mean, why have these things of the world? That's easy. I mean, they make like getting money in this world so hard. Making money righteously is the hard thing. Being a man of God is the hard thing. Anybody can scam somebody. Anybody can crack some cards. Anybody can make an OnlyFans. Anybody can sell drugs. Anybody can do that. That's easy. But making money righteously, living a life where you know you could be making more money if you live wickedly, that's the hard thing to do. To live righteous and nobody give a damn. That's the hard thing. Nobody give a damn you start celebrating Christmas. Nobody give a damn. Nobody give a damn if you stop eating pork. Nobody give a damn if you you get out the streets. Nobody give a damn about that. They say you changed up. You frowned upon if you get out the streets. You frowned upon if you start changing your life to God. Keep going. Jump down to verse 21.
No sweat. Verse 21. You hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I know sweat. Verse 21. Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord, and abide in thy labor. For it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord, on the sudden, to make a poor man rich.
The problem, you know what people have? You think you of yourself. You don't believe it. People don't really trust in the Lord. They don't believe in the Lord. Why? You think because you like, man, you think that you deserve money for doing what you're supposed to do. Good night. You think because you don't eat pork. You think you've been stop eating pork for 2 weeks. You think you deserve $1 million. Where my check at in the mail? It's your first year. You just stopped. You didn't celebrate Christmas. You had the Christmas tree up. You just didn't put presents underneath there. You deserve a check in the mail. You need to get change now. You need money now for changing your life. The problem is nobody want to change their life because the Christian church has taught you that prosperity doctrine. I mean, anybody get money off of doing anything. Anybody. People get money. They got child pornography. They make millions of dollars off of that. And that's from God too? That's what you're telling me? That's what they're telling me. They must be telling me that, huh? That must be a guy. I mean, you make hell of money for being a drag queen. You make hell of money for being a transgender, to represent people with transgender. You get cast in a scene from just being a transgender. That's it. You get cast in a scene just for being a transgender. Just for being openly a homosexual. You get more money. More people backing you. But yet, monkeypox seem to be affecting them. You telling me God's with them? I think not. Keep going. Verse 22.
Verse 22. The blessing of the Lord is in the reward of the godly, and suddenly he maketh his blessing flourish.
Keep going.
Verse 23. Say not, which profit is there of my service? And what good things shall I have hereafter?
Right. So don't say, man, what am I gonna get paid for doing this? I'm doing all this. I'm doing this labor. I'm working for the Lord. What's gonna happen? What am I gonna get, man? Why? Because you think that you got to work for a check. The Lord has gave you this place, gave you what you have, and you still think that in order to work for Him, you're gonna need something. And you got a life. That's all you living. That's it. That you living, you ain't dead. The fact that you even can think like that is good enough. The fact that you had that thought that came across your head, that what can I get? You good. That's why you need to serve the Lord. Keep going.
Verse 24. Again, say not, I have enough, and possesses many things, and what evil shall I have hereafter?
And if you do get things from the Lord, what it said that when it comes from the Lord, it'll come without sorrow. Right? Don't be like, man, I got all these things. I'm gonna, things bad gonna happen. What you gotta understand is, brother. What you gotta understand is that when you do things right, you shouldn't be scared for nothing. Meaning, what if I'm living my life according to God? When something happens in my life, I know it's just a test. I know I'm being tried in the fire. I know I didn't do nothing wrong. But half of y'all live your life so wickedly, everything something happened to y'all, you don't even know it's just something crazy or the Lord punishing you because you live in such a crazy lifestyle. Keep going.
Verse 25. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. And in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity.
Meaning in the day of prosperity, what's the day of prosperity? The day something go good for you, you forget how all hard it took. You forget all that pain, man. You go through all that pain, and as soon as you get a come up, you forget all that pain you went through. Right? Keep going. And it says, Salaki, it says, in the day of affliction, there's no remembrance of prosperity, meaning that you go through this like this. This is what people do, man. God will give you so much. But the day that He takes something away from you, don't let that happen. Y'all willing to curse God and everything, right? Soon as God gave you all what you got, and you, He took all this, man. I'm going to low state, man. You forget everything. That's how we are. We over here as a people go through so much, and we forget what we've been through. Yet we get so much, and something happened, and we forgot what we had. Keep going.
Verse 26. For it is an easy thing unto the Lord in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways.
How can you reward a man in the day of death? We all know after you die, what happens? You get judged. You get judged, man. Y'all going one day, how you look at it. Y'all so carnal minded. You don't understand that what you're doing right now is like is you setting the foundation for the life you want to live. I mean, if I work right here, work right now, when I come back in this place, it's already going to be established. Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? You might as well be the one to stand up. I'm going to lay down the foundation so my kids could go after me and they could keep left off where I started. And their kids could do the same thing, and I come back and I don't have to go through all the pain and suffering I had to go through. Y'all out there y'all giving the familiar spirits. Y'all passing around your demons in your family. Keep going. Like, that y'all should, this is what y'all do. Instead of y'all people getting raped in your own family, uncles molesting y'all, instead of speaking about it, what's going to happen? You going to have children, they're going to get molested by uncles in their family. They're going to get molested because they ain't going to speak about it. But if you was the one who speak about it, what's going to happen? You stopped it. Just by what? Speaking about it. But you don't want to speak about it because that everybody love that uncle. That uncle got money. He got ways to make things change. Good night. Keep going. Where you at? You're on mute.
Verse 27. The affliction of an hour maketh a man maketh a man forget pleasure. Salakia. And in his end, his deeds shall be discovered.
This is going to happen. America's going to get this, and that affliction of an hour. How long is it going to take America to fall?
Hour.
An hour. They ain't going to forget his pleasures. They going to forget all that. You're going to forget all them good. You think, Salakia, you think all that, when Christ come to crack the sky with them angels, You think you're gonna be worried about all them times there was some good times? Hell nah. And all your deeds gonna be discovered. Why? Because the people who die ain't gonna be the ones who did wickedness in this place. But the men who did right according to God or not, they gonna get their deeds too. They gonna get their crowns. Lord allow. Verse 28.
Verse 28. Judge none, blessed before his death, for a man shall be known in his children.
How can a man be known in his children? Good night. That's deep. How can a man be known in his children?
If I could get a crack at it.
Go ahead.
Like, this is spiritually speaking, right? Like, for like truth, right? Well, I know they always say that like your children are a representation of you.
Right.
So you risking your life, for your family and your future and the generations to come. So your kid will be looked at as if he's you because he's a representation of you.
No, damn right, Priest. Yeah, because that's exactly what happens. Just like right now, when we go out places like, man, when your kids saw you see a well-behaved kid, you like, man, get some good parents. And you're gonna know, and you're gonna be known based on, and they're gonna know you, and you're gonna be great because your father was great. And then they're gonna remember you because you're gonna raise your child, and he's gonna become great because you raised them that way. That's what's gonna happen. That's what you need to understand. You're gonna be respected. That's what the kingdom of heaven, you're gonna be known. Why? Because you was here. Instead of being like the disgusting rich people who decide they have their kingdom of heaven here, y'all get your reward. Y'all get your consolation prize. But the men here who decided to what? Serve God while the whole world look at him and laugh, we're gonna be known through our children. Because they're like, oh, that's your daddy? Your dad was him? Or your dad was your daddy experienced when Christ came back. Your daddy was one of the 144. That's what we want. Oh, you want the 144? Tell me how it is. They're gonna be asking your son, hey, when you go, hey, tell me what your dad told you in his stories how it was. You're gonna be known to your children. Your children gonna keep your name. And that's why and that's why it's so important of being so strong in what you have right now. Because just like King David was, when you say you from King David, what that mean? That's a powerful thing. They said Christ came in the line of David, because he was what? He was a man who feared God. And that's what you got to be, man. A man who fears God and did not envy the rich, because the rich does not give a damn about God. The rich fight against God. That's what they did. The rich of this world, because why? In order to be rich, you got to do the things that the person who is in charge of the money wants you to do. And here we are in America, Babylon, the whore who sit upon many waters. In order for us to make money the way that the amount of money that you think is the amount of money, like the rich stuff, you got to do what they want you to do. You got to be like Jay-Z and make a deal with the NFL. You can't stand up on what you believe in. You can't serve God and serve mammon. All y'all leave all that, I believe in God, I want to fight for God, all for some check. Nick Cannon, they took away one show and you was folded. And that's why it's hard for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. I mean, Ice Cube had one good, Ice Cube was growing his beard out some. Ain't nobody heard from Ice Cube yet. I mean, goddamn, Kendrick Lamar had one album, and what happened? They must have did something, took away that boy money or something. Now what you got talking about? They judge you, they judge Christ. God's people equal women rights. Brother, the rich will give you spiritual death. The rich will give you spiritual death. And with that, you got any questions online? Nope. All right, we get the announcements. You got them?
I got them.
All right, that's what.
You hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. tithes, which is a commandment, which can be found in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashura, 10% of every penny or any increase the Lord gives you. Give the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
Upcoming holy convocations. We got the memorial of blowing of trumpets. This is the first day of the 7th month. The Sunday, 25th of September, 2022. You can find us in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 24 to 25.
If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. That concludes the ISUPK security announcements. Passing the class back to Officer Gadawa.
All right, with that, we're going to do Madium, Nasar, face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Watazarika, Hayah, Aisha, Baratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Nashamayim, Nathan, Nathanawa, Lakam, Kal, Yawam, Masalaklanam, Kawawati, Kasalaknam, Kawawati, Wala'a, Tabaya Anawu, Manasayawan, Abal, Awashanawu, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wahala, La Wanyum, in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. Not the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, so be it. With that, we're going to give a curse to the brothers. Men of Israel, Mariam Shabbat, Mariam, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatam. I will give a curse to the sisters. Men of Israel, Mariam Shabbat, Mariam, Barak, Yahweh Shema, Atan, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. All right, with that, dismiss.